Today, for episode 6 for our Smart Mobility series, Senior Sales Director Soren Powell-Holse and Sales Manager David McHale discuss technology for the future of fuel retail. Listen as we discuss if digitalisation can redefine the fuel retail experience, the benefits of a smart mobility hub, and a key technology that retailers should be looking to invest in the near future. On our last episode of our Smart Mobility series, I'm joined by Senior Sales Director Soren Powell-Holse and Sales Manager David McHale as we look at technology for the future of fuel retail. Technology is significantly transforming the fuel retail industry, enabling smoother customer experiences, increased efficiency, and adoption to evolving customer needs. With retailers looking to remain competitive, embracing technology is truly essential. Are fuel retailers ready for the future of fueling? Thank you both for joining me today. I guess let's jump straight in. Can digitalization redefine the fuel retail experience? Soren, I'll go to you first if you don't mind.
Yeah, thank you, Kit. Yeah, absolutely, it can. I would even say maybe in two ways. So directly, it can be about engaging with the motorist, the consumer, through media, through loyalty schemes, through various ways of engagement and promotional activity. And then also indirect, because we are now having a lot more digital monitoring and data on the equipment itself, so we can make sure that the experience is always welcoming and ready to serve the motorists. So, both direct and indirect, it's absolutely here now and happening.
Yeah, I agree. And building on Soren's point around sort of operational things and operational efficiency, digital technology really has the ability to optimize the performance of retail fuel stations through that digital technology. We think about some examples around there's applications out there for better inventory management, so tanks are not stocking too much, not stocking enough fuel. Applications around reducing the operational costs of forecourts as well. So there's a number of solutions available that once retailers adopt digitalization, it can really help drive the performance of the forecourt, not just for the benefit of the customer, but also for the benefit of the retailer as well.
Speaking of which, what technology investments can support this? David, would you mind expanding on that just because you kind of touched on that already?
Yeah, there's a number really. I mean, if we look at mobile payment solutions, for example, there's a number of mobile payment solutions that are now available, which can really enhance the customer experience on the forecourt. They can potentially pay for their fuel on an application, so they don't even need to leave the vehicle, which all improves the customer experience. And then there's other applications whereby they could potentially order hot food, hot drinks from the convenience store of the forecourt as well. And that all builds into a better experience for the customer themselves. Yeah, and again, feeding back to operational stuff, it can really help the general running of the forecourt and improve that experience for both the retailer and the customer.
I think I would like to add that, in the forecourt industry, we have a legacy of many different things that sort of been put together and invested in over a period of time. And a lot of challenges for retailers is how to make it all work and how to gradually get it digitalized at the same time as not just ripping everything out and start again because it's too costly, clearly. So, a big trend we are seeing is this thing about connecting things together. And here, APIs is playing a bigger role as something that we get many requests all the times to connect our various solutions to other things that, maybe we don't have in our portfolio, or maybe the customer started with something else and they prefer to stay there, but they like things that DFS is offering, and we can combine it to tailor the best solution for the fuel retailer with API technology. It sounds pretty simple, and it is, but it still is actually a big step, because we've gone from this very traditional world where everything was boxes that was, talking their own secret language and so on. And it was very difficult for
Mm-hmm.
retailers to get the big picture. So we're getting there now with technologies. And another one I just want to throw in there because I think it's really exciting and it really is a step forward is something that we in DFS has launched, which is DX Monitor, which we, by having this remote RDM, we call it, technology and fuel dispensers, you can monitor and you can actually remotely do fixes, updates to certain things. And it really goes back to this indirect and direct digitalization and effect for the motor, because we can now, with much more granularity, understand what's going on. We can even sometimes find early warnings, and we can make sure that that station is welcoming and ready for the motorists when they go in, so they don't end up with a negative experience and drive across the street for the competitor. So a good little example of something that is really moving the needle.
It's comforting to know that this kind of technology is out there. Um, so is connectivity and digitalization attainable for fuel retailers with sites of all sizes? And if so, how?
Yeah, I think most digital technologies that are now available are scalable, definitely. They can be adapted to fit the needs of most budgets and most size retailers, whether they're small to large. If we think about a lot of the cloud-based services that are now available through various providers, it allows retailers to perhaps only pay for what they need to use, whereas previously they perhaps would have had to purchase a whole package, or the package was more focused on enterprise level customers. Now they can pick and choose what they want to use, and it makes it um, more affordable for smaller operators. And generally the cost of technology has decreased over time as well. It was previously quite expensive, maybe, to digitalize certain parts of the forecourt. Whereas that is much more affordable, whether that's via IoT devices or mobile payment systems. So it makes it more accessible for retailers of all sizes, definitely.
That's great. Soren, do you have anything to add?
I concur. It's very few things that will be difficult to obtain for everybody. I would say typically loyalty programs is something that big enterprises typically launch and run. But if you are a licensee or a dealer operator or something, you sometimes have access to that, and we can help connect it, so you still get the benefit of the draw of the traffic and so on. But your own loyalty program is maybe the one thing that would be difficult to get to stand up individually, but there is solutions out there also. Other than that, you can in any size operator, you can uh, make sure you have an exciting experience. You can use media to engage. You can optimize, as David says, your operations. You can make sure that the customer have a positive experience. So I would say it's really attainable, and back to this pick and choose, that we are now able to more and more connect things as it's relevant to each business, because every business will have different focuses and different needs and different things they want to do at a certain point of time. So it is really pick and choose, which is instead of complete replacement, which is a good news.
And I think a lot of the technology that is now available is a lot more user friendly than perhaps it was, which previously sort of maybe inhibited adoption or led to retailers perhaps being more hesitant of adopting new technologies. But a lot of what is available now for the retailer or even for the end customer is a lot more user friendly and easy to use. So you don't need extensive technical expertise to utilize and implement that technology.
That's a very good point. Yeah, it's one thing to have a solution in place, but it's not easy to use then, you know, what are the chances somebody's going to invest in that? Um, what could a fully optimized smart mobility hub provide retail businesses, and what are the benefits of a smart mobility hub? Soren, I'll go to you first.
I think when I think of this, for me, it's really about unlocking real-time data or getting access to real-time data, and then what do you do with it, and how do you have a partner that can help you utilize that? So it goes back to my direct an indirect point from the start. I think I'll let David go into detail on indirect, but I can, mention. So the direct one is really about what is the sort of the customer journey that you have as a consumer, as a motorist when you come in. And here, because we have real-time data, as mentioned before, we can make sure everything is ready, it works as it should. We even might have some predictive maintenance models that tells us that, it's working now, but there could be a problem in a while. So a retailer have the choice of being proactive or wait and do it when it can be scheduled in with other work or so on and so forth. Promotional powers, we are all more and more used to things being personalized and right for us at the right time, at the right moment. All of this is getting very, very tangible with the data and how we link it together and how we can help retailers retail and offer promotions and deals at the right time, at the right moment. So there's a good chance it will trigger call to action markets and so on.
Yeah, and Soren makes a good point around remote monitoring and that live data. I think it's good having this live data and it's good having the remote monitoring, but it's understanding how to use it correctly. And one of the things that we do at DFS is we offer either software solutions, so retailers can utilize that data themselves and understand what's happening on the forecourt themselves, or we provide managed services such as DX wet stock management, whereby somebody is looking at that data for you and somebody is utilizing that real-time data to understand what is happening on that forecourt and provide insight and guidance to the forecourt operator. And as a forecourt operator, what that gives them is confidence in their site that it's operating as optimal as it possibly can, but also gives them confidence in the technology that they've installed to ensure that they are getting the best from the technology that they have installed at their site. Um, it really sort of gives them that confidence that they need, and allows them to spend more time on the things that are important to them, rather than sort of some of the perhaps administrative tasks that would have been manual previously, which could now be automated.
I think I just want to add one more because it's, of course, fuel retailing is now a hub where people come, and it's as much about the convenience store inside and all the things that people go and do there. And again, here we have more and more solutions where we put services together or help retailers put services together so they get that complete experience. So we know people, they come there sometimes to fuel, but also sometimes they come there purely to have a cup of coffee, to wash their car, to eat something, and so on and so forth. So it's multi-purpose, and the technology and the data and all the things we have and how we can connect. It's if not even if not as important as the forecourt, it's the same inside here. All the loyalty, the promotional powers, the making sure everything works. You can pay with whatever method you mentioned. David mentioned mobile, but there's many method of payments now people want to do, and so on and so on. So it's really the brain of the mobility hub is now this kind of ecosystem linked around those systems that drives all of that. So yeah, that's really what unlocks the total picture.
Yeah, you described this as a complete experience, and I think I completely agree with you. My last question is, what technology should retailers be looking to invest in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Um, yeah, it's quite a broad, right, quite a broad question, and there's a number of technologies that they should be looking to invest in. I think the buzzword at the moment is AI, artificial intelligence, and sort of how that can support various industries. Um, I think AI absolutely has the ability to optimize various aspects of fuel retail operations. That could be from inventory management, predictive maintenance, even personalized customer experiences, and they'll really help retailers drive the performance of their forecourt. I think it's still quite it's definitely still a young technology, and I think as an industry we need to learn how it can be implemented and how it can support us. But I think that the use case for it is definitely there. We just need to think about how we want to use that sensibly in our industry.
I
Interesting.
think I'd like to add it from another angle, because we are in this period of transition. We have an energy transition where we are, changing the way road transport is fueled. So we have a change. We have the mix of electrical vehicles. We have other alternative energies in different sectors of the road transport, and we still have a large car park of conventional fuels. And for retailers, it's really difficult to balance this transition, because it's not going, no change goes as fast as everybody predicts in the beginning. And then perhaps at one point there's a catch-up moment, but it's really difficult to predict how this is happening, and how for retailers, they need to find that balance of offering a multi-energy destination or an offer for the various types of customers, because some of their customers will convert, others are not quite ready to it, so they need to cater to both. And a clear trend is also that the location itself is a destination, and we have buzzwords as foodvenience, because more and more it's about offering fresh food and coffees and other things, and again make it more of a stop or a destination. And depending on what type of fuel you come to do, or what kind of stop you're looking to do, you will have more or less time. And again, if you put your retail offer together right, you can be the winner on that particular area. So I think that's something to really retailers need to think long and hard about, and we are here to counsel them and advise them, of course, as this industry is evolving.
So I think that clearly digitalization have a massive say in the future of fuel retail experience. And the good news is that, there are various technologies out there and investments that fuel retailers could invest in. It doesn't matter if you own a small or a large site, the options are there. It's just a case of investing in the right products and solutions. I really appreciate your time, Soren and David. I'm sure our audience is going to have a lot to take away from this conversation. So yeah, thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome.
Thank,
Thank you.
thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Technology, episode 6 for our Smart Mobility series with Soren and David. If you'd like to support the podcast, feel free to share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a review. To catch the latest from Dover Fueling Solutions, you can follow us on LinkedIn or visit our website at www.doverfuelingsolutions.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you next month, where we continue to fuel the conversation.